Just keep an eye out on a couple of stocks. We do have Oberoi Realty from the broader markets, which has moved to the high point of trade. So we'll watch out for a bunch of these stocks. Actually, a lot of the realty stocks are doing well too. But we had an exclusive conversation yesterday, an important one that too. Outgoing Revenue Secretary Tarun Bajaj saying that he's confident that the government will meet the 6.5%, 6.4% to be precise, fiscal deficit target this year. Let's hear him out.
We had done some preparation. Now it will depend on the policy makers. I'm not involved in the budget making process, so it will depend on whether they want to bring it or they want to wait a little more, do more conversation and more discussions and debate on it. But yes, one thing is for sure, that our capital gains tax regime is very complicated. It needs simplification. I've said it earlier and I'm repeating it here, that we have various buckets under which we put all products. Financial also we put in different buckets, and then we charge different taxes on them as capital gains. Then we also have different time periods to decide, short term and long term. Then in some cases we have indexation, in others we don't have indexation. So I think all this needs cleaning up. But whether the time is right now, the time maybe was yesterday, if I may say so. But whether it happens this year or not is something for us to see on the 1st of February.
Let me address an issue, a tax that was brought in given the global economic context as well as the need here domestically, the windfall gains tax. What we have seen now is crude prices coming off quite sharply, in fact at a 10-month low. While there was never an official number in terms of what is the threshold of when the government will decide to withdraw or roll back the windfall gains tax, the expectation or the assumption or the rumored number was $75. Can you explain to us where things currently stand, the thinking on the windfall gains tax?
So windfall gains tax is something that we've been changing every 2 weeks. I think the day we presented this, there was a lot of apprehension, including in the media, may I say that we will not change it and this is there for to stay. But within 14 days or 15 days, the first time we took a little more time, we changed it and it went up and down. And so I think as the prices come down, the windfall taxes will either reduce or they will go away. And as a policy maker in the Ministry of Finance in the North Block, I would say that if the windfall tax actually goes away, it's good for the economy, because that means that the crude prices are down, the diesel and petrol product prices are down. To that extent, our import bill reduces and our current account deficit improves. So if that happens, that is far, far better than the small amount of windfall taxes that we'll collect through this process.
Let's talk about the macros now, and I want to talk to you as far as the overall tax picture is concerned, and that's where the real cushion has come in, both as far as direct as well as indirect taxes are concerned. Of course, expenditure has also been higher on account of the food and fertilizer subsidy. How comfortable do you feel in terms of meeting the fiscal deficit target? There are, of course, estimates suggesting that we may, in fact, exceed on account of the higher expenditure. I want to get your view on where things currently stack up, both on the tax front as well as expenditure.
I can say that the government is feeling very confident that we'll meet our fiscal deficit target of 6.4 in spite of very heavy burden on account of food subsidy, fertilizer subsidy, petroleum subsidy also to some extent having come back. But I think the higher revenues and some other measures which the expenditure side would have taken would see us this year to 6.4. Last year also I think we did 0.1% less and not more. So we have made a promise to the country that we'll take it to 4.5% in 25-26. I think in Ministry of Finance all of us are very conscious of that and always are working on that. And I think the people of this country have also helped us by paying more taxes, so revenues have come which will take care of the higher expenditure.
So you feel confident of being able to achieve that fiscal glide path that you have committed to?
So what I'll say is that 6.4 is something that I feel should happen this year. There's no reason even today that I feel that we would exceed that 6.4. Particularly
disinvestment. Of course, over the last budget, there has been an attempt to put in a much more realistic number, but even that so-called realistic number, the actual performance on the ground is far short of that. What do you think is the issue, and do you believe that once again there needs to be a relook at the way that the government is projecting both disinvestment as well as monetization? Because even as far as monetization is concerned, there is a wide gap between what the government had projected or estimated and where things currently stand on the ground?
Disinvestment, I would say this year's target is about 65,000, not about, it's 65,000 crores, and they are close to having achieved almost 30,000 or a little more. So let us see, there are still 4 months to go for the year to end. And there are some things in the offing. So I think the Disinvestment Ministry department would be close to the figure that they have projected in the budget. If it falls short or goes up by 5,000, 7,000, so that's not of so much of importance.
Well, on that note, we'll have to wrap up on this edition of Chartbusters with news that the Nifty is mildly holding onto the green, but the Nifty Bank is under some pressure. Trading hour takes